Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel again. This is Cloud Institution, the best cloud training institution in Bangalore. So today in this video, we're going to see one of the very interesting, AWS interview question. So that is, what is the difference between virtual private gateway and customer gateway? Okay, so in the context of site-to-site VPN, right? So interviewer may test your knowledge on on various various aspect of the VPNs. So mostly, so you should be knowing what is virtual private gateway used for and what is customer gateway is used for. Okay, so let's see the answer now. So answer is, so in the context of AWS site-to-site VPN, so have virtual private gateway is the AWS endpoint for the VPN connection, while the customer gateway represents the customer endpoint of the on-premises network. Okay, so what do you mean by this? So if you can go for the diagram. So let's say, for example, this is so we have a two different infrastructure, right? So we know we have already discussed about what is VPN. Okay, so this is the AWS infrastructure. Okay, so the AWS inside this will be having VPC, right? So in the context of customer infrastructure, customer on-prem network. Okay, customer on-prem infra. Okay, on-prem infrastructure, right? Or data center, right? So okay, now what happens is that if you want to connect from our AWS infrastructure to our customers on-prem infrastructure, we need to have a site-to-site VPN has to be established. Okay, this is site-to-site VPN. Okay, so this is site-to-site VPN. Okay, so VPN has to be established so that the connection. So it'll have a connectivity from AWS and from the AWS to the site-to-site VPN, and then it goes to the customer infrastructure, and the connection will work like this, right? So now let's see the question. So what is the virtual private gateway and what is customer gateway? Okay, so the virtual private gateway is something which will be configured for your customer infrastructure. Okay, so here it is, the customer gateway. Okay, so now here we'll be having, okay, so we'll be having a virtual private gateway for the AWS infrastructure. Okay, in the AWS, whenever you're configuring the site-to-site VPN, the customer gateway information represents the customer infrastructure. Okay, it can be a data center, or it can be a the single system, or it can be our office infrastructure or anything, right? So in terms of virtual private gateway, so it represents your VPC information. Okay, so let's say if it is a VPC and you have to give your VPC or transit gateway information on the virtual private gateway, so that both infrastructure will be able to connect through the site-to-site VPN. Okay, so let's say, for example, if you can go for virtual private network, which is VPN under VPC. Okay, so so we have customer gateway and then virtual private gateway. Okay, so then we'll be having a site-to-site VPN connection. Okay, so what is customer gateway? If you can create a customer gateway, it'll be asking you about your customers. So the default the customer virtual so which is virtual private gateway is asking you about the default ASN, like it's related to your VPC. Now if you go to the customer gateway, okay, it'll be asking you about so a lot of information about your the IP address of your customer infrastructure, and there are many other options will be asked to configure. Okay, if you configure everything from this point of view, then you should be able to configure the site-to-site VPN connection. Okay, so the site-to-site VPN connection will comes over here. Then the customer gateway will be, you'll be configuring all the customer information, and then the virtual private gateway will be configuring all the AWS related to AWS information. Okay, so this is how the customer gateway and then virtual private gateway will work together in terms of site-to-site VPN. Okay, so hope you understand this question. So this is really important question in terms of the interview. Okay, if you're preparing for interview, you must be prepared for this kind of tough questions, or so this kind of surprise questions. So the interviewer may ask you like this kind of questions in various ways. Okay, so you must be prepared for this kind of questions. Okay, so hope this question was really helpful for you to prepare your interview. Okay, if you have any questions, please reach out to us on this number. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you wanted to see more videos like this one, please follow us, and we'll be posting a lot of videos like this in the future. Okay, thank you guys.